Hey guys, I'm Abby with Motor City Nerds. Thank you so much for watching my House of the Dragon reaction. That was, I can't believe how many views it got. So thank you. If you're new here, welcome to the Penguin Gang. I wanted to wear my Clegane shirt, but I couldn't find it. Now I'm all pissed off about it, but we got Bolton. We're good. But yeah, let's break down this trailer scene by scene. Because you know when you watch something and when you watch a trailer, especially for something from like a book or a comic, and you just are like, oh, I really want to see that thing I love. So part of the things I was saying, like Vagar and things like that, that's just I'm so sorry, guys. That just went nutso. But no, it's just wishful thinking. It's just, I know it probably isn't Vagar or the Red Queen, but I just want to really see those things. But I really appreciated everybody that was like, no. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, that's the Syraxes and this one are both red and this one. But I really appreciated that. And it's a ton of fun. But part of the things I'm yelling about are just wishful thinking. So, yeah, it's just fun. I just got so scared. Oh my god, I just got so freaking scared. My computer just started acting crazy. And it was doing this last night. That's why I didn't have this posted. Just have a meltdown. Everything got real crazy for a minute. Let's do this. Okay, guys, let's get right into this. Now, first and foremost, the reason I keep bringing up Rhaenys the Dreamer is because if you know stuff, and spoilers, by the way, this whole story's been told, so I don't want to ruin it for anybody that doesn't want it ruined. But I don't know what I might say because, like, I don't fully write things down, so God only knows where this video will go. But they keep dropping the word dream. Like, in the very first teaser we got, it was like, dreams didn't make us kings, dragons did. Well, how funny that Rhaenys the Dreamer is the reason that your family survived. Once again, I will keep pointing out the irony of the Targaryens not allowing a woman in power when your entire house survived because of a woman. And I won't go down this rabbit hole right now about more examples of things. But yeah, I think that I just think that I feel like there's somebody that knows that and is just going like, it's a little nugget of fun for us obsessed people. You know what I mean? Is this King Viserys?
And I heard the sound of thundering hooves.
It looks so good. It looks so good, dude. This. I know Game of Thrones did great when it came to the set design and the costuming and stuff like that, but they didn't have the money in the first couple seasons, and they made it work, and it's beautiful, it is. But this, look at how ornate and detailed all of this is.
Ring shields and ringing swords.
Oh, is that going to be because Sir Criston Cole beats Daemon at a tournament, right? That's like for funsies, I'm pretty sure. Now, Criston Cole is we'll get more into him in a minute. I think he's a dirty sneak rat. He's on the Kingsguard. And why does the Kingsguard, they all have the best nicknames, but I guess that makes sense if you're like, have to be, not only are they're the best of the best, but, you would want your reputation to also be so, even if you weren't, you know what I mean? I'd rather have people be like, oh, I really don't want to mess with her, and then be like, oh, no, just wing it, you know what I mean? But they have the best nicknames. Even Kingslayer, that's a great nickname. That's a badass nickname. The Kingmaker, like, those are cool nicknames. I mean, there's a lot of cool nicknames or whatever, titles in Game of Thrones and The Song of Ice and Fire, but they're killing it. Now, is this Blackfire or Dark Sister? Now, Dark Sister's my jammy, so... But Blackfire's also a big deal. And that's Rhaenyra in the background, right? I assumed it was Dark Sister because I'm assuming that's Daemon.
Placed my heir upon the Iron Throne. And all the dragons roared as one.
Now, let's look at stuff. Is that a golden boy? Does that look yellow to you guys? Because Aegon the Second's is... Okay, Syrax is yellow, and... Which, I mean, whatever. Yellow, gold. I mean, there's kind of a difference. And then Aegon the Second's dragon, Sunfire. I'm assuming this is him, or it might be Syrax, too. It could be one or the other, but they're both described... Well, he's golden, super golden, like beaten gold, or what his scales look like. And that would be Aegon the Second's dragon. So, either way, it's a dragon. I'm happy. That is so cool. I like how you guys, like, I point at stuff like you guys can see. You guys can't see what I'm talking about. I love that. I love the amount of detail in the background and stuff like that. Like I said, you could just tell where before in the beginning they didn't have the money for stuff, so then certain things they couldn't really deep dive in. And it's not like it's not super detailed and stuff in Game of Thrones. It's beautifully done. But this, they spared no expense. Oh, I didn't even realize that before. That's an eye? Oh my god. So that's Aemond's eye. Now, Aemond rides Vagar. That's my dragon. That's my favesies. But I didn't notice that was him putting his eye down. That's sweet.
That of your succession. But who else would have a claim? The firstborn child.
Dude, like a boss.
Rhaenyra, no queen has ever sat the Iron Throne.
The king has an heir, Daemon Targaryen.
See, now, here's the thing. Corlys is a boss, first and foremost, but I'm wondering if maybe they're going to be a little more sneaky than we think. Because the Velaryons, I think, are not as... They're super low. I don't think... I can't wait to see Corlys. I think I keep describing him to the average person like a cool version of Ned Stark. Not that Ned isn't cool, but Ned is so serious and stoic but about that life. And Corlys is the same way, but I always took him more as like kind of, I don't want to say Jack Sparrow, but kind of Jack Sparrow. He's on a boat. He's like... And then him and Rhaenys have a great relationship. And I kind of... Well, it gets complicated because... He kind of has he does have a reason to be pissed off at the Iron Throne and at the Targaryens, but he stays loyal. And it's like, but there could be a little hint of I'm pissed off and whatnot.
Between my brother and my daughter.
Now, remember when I told you guys this was my favorite shot from the last trailer? Well, not that one, but when he turned around and had the gold cloak, it's because he formed the gold cloaks. So imagine if Bronn from Game of Thrones was born into the Targaryens. I'm not getting into theories and stuff. I'm just saying, like, Daemon founded them, and he talks to all these people. So he's talking to people on the ground level that are hanging out in bars and stuff like that. So it's like, he has some info, that's for sure. Okay, Criston Cole, you sneaky dirty rat. Man, I'm really bad at this guy, sorry. This guy. This is the Kingmaker. Dirty rat. Well, I think he's a dirty rat. So him and Rhaenyra, it's always... Well, I'm assuming that is happening, but it was always rumored that him and Rhaenyra were hooking up. Remember when I talked about how she was banging somebody else, and it was always, like, just openly known that her husband was gay? This is the guy that she was... Pretty much everybody knew she was banging. He's in the Kingsguard, the Kingmaker. He's called that because he goes behind her back, essentially, and calls us... Well, he has to, because they are at the small council meeting. But him and the woman that she squares up with have a little meeting after the king dies and are like, well, maybe we should put your son on the throne. But Rhaenyra is sleeping with him. So it's like, that's a big slap to the face. You know what I'm saying? He's a cutie pie, though. This actor's a cutie. Oh! Oh! How many dragons are there? Stop that. Is that Driftmark, by the way? Okay. Oh, it's Dragonstone. They really got us, man. You gotta pause it right at the right second, don't you? Oh! So we got two. This one roaring at another one at Dragonstone. Wow. Wowsies. That one's got a long neck. Look at long neck over here, little-footing it up. It's so beautiful. Because I went through it. Because I know... I still get excited. I still get goosebumps watching that. You don't step to Daemon. He's going to beat that ass.
You are the king.
Now, I know... And can I establish this? Everybody can like who they want. I don't care if you like it. That's the reason for my channel. We can all talk about things. I love Roose Bolton. You guys all know this. Jabba the Hutt. Love him. Tywin. He's my favorite character. Hate the Tyrells. Hate the Hightowers. It is what it is. But we can all like stuff and enjoy it and talk about it without being psychopaths to one another. You feel me? So, I don't like the Hightowers.
Your duty is to take a new wife.
I have decided to name a new heir.
Now, mind you... Oh! I didn't realize that when I watched it.
Is afoot.
Do you think that Ram will ever accept me as their queen?
A woman would not inherit the Iron Throne.
It's so good.
Because that is the order of things.
See, I think maybe Rhaenys is a little jaded more than I thought she was going to be. I don't know. Like I said, this is just a trailer, but this is gonna be great. I just get wrapped up in it already. Like, you know what I mean? And I do love the amount of... This could be a problem. Like I've been saying about House of the Dragon, I'm stoked for it. And obviously we all are. We're all really excited for it. But, you guys know that I do a lot of videos with my mom over here. It's sometimes for the average person, it's difficult to keep track of a million names and houses and this and that and allegiances and which dragon is that. It's hard for some people, whether it's Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. It's difficult for some people. So I was concerned that having too many white-haired, blue-eyed whiteys running around on dragons was going to be hard for, not that I wouldn't love it, not that we all wouldn't love it, but it might be hard for the average viewer to keep things straight. Now, I'm stoked. This is where I really think it needs to hit, is the time jumping or the flashbacks, however they're handling it, because I really like how well they're doing it with the costuming, especially with Daemon. The short hair, the longer hair, the mid-length hair. Obviously, time is passing, and or we're showing a flashback. How that can be very difficult to do, and that can be hard on an audience. So I really hope, because I think that they've done a great job showing very good distinctions between the characters that could confuse people and look like, because I know people that just go Khaleesi, like they don't even know what Dany's name is. So it's like, I'm not talking about me or us. I'm talking about the average viewer that starts watching this. It could be difficult. So when you start throwing time jumps and stuff in, you better handle them right. That's all I'm saying.
I'm queen, I will create a new order.
Hold up. Is that's Cyrax, correct? I like how I ask you guys. I feel like we're doing this together, though. That's funner. Oh, see the yellow? That's Cyrax. Yeah, see this yellow all up in here? And obviously, because... And we'll get into my argument later as to why. Not only is it just in my heart that I want to see Vhagar, but I'll tell you why. Because there's a reason sometimes, not always with trailers, but sometimes they show stuff in a certain way for a message or a metaphor or whatever. But we'll get into that later.
Your family has dragons.
Oh, it's because it wasn't a Targaryen saying it.
Power men should never have trifled with.
Ooh! Oh my god, he looks so good! Look how good Cyraxes looks! Oh my god! I can't, dude. I'm so excited. They could have just given me this. You guys know, if you've been over here, you guys know I've been complaining on, like, the snoot. All they're going to show us is a snoot. I was so mad at that. That pissed me off so bad that all we got was a in-the-dark dragon snoot. But this, if they would have just showed me this picture, I would have been, I would be happy. But, oh my god. Look at Cyraxes. Look at his armor, dude. Look at his armor. It's black. It's so cool. That's armor or scales? Either way, it's sick. I love the horn design. Oh my god, this is sick. Now that...
If Rhaenyra comes into power,
Oh, not what I meant to do, guys. Sorry.
cut off any challenge.
I'm really bad at this. You guys know this. I'm really, really bad with technology. I'm really bad at screen sharing. I'm not good at it. So bear with me. That. I think that's Vhagar, right? That one. Oh, because there's somebody on there, is there? Oh, no, that's just sand kicking up. I was like, there's somebody on there. No, that's just sand kicking up on the beach. Oh, I do think this is Vhagar, because that's the point I was trying to make, is like, Vhagar's the biggest, and Aemond One Eye rides Vhagar. And Vhagar was one of the dragons that helped create Westeros as a country. It was Velaryon, Meraxes, and Vhagar.
If Rhaenyra comes into power, she can cut off any challenge.
That's a really cool shot. That was a really cool shot of her literally wearing green and her literally wearing black. That's cool. That shot. Oh, look at that one, though. Oh, my God. God, I probably should have ran through this prior. Like I said, I love that shot, that one, of him walking away from the gold cloaks. That is so cool. And then you also get to see, like, these are the common folk. Not all of them are common. They're the common folk, yeah. A lot of them are the common folk, or closer to it than them. You know what I mean? So Daemon's kind of got a lot of support, especially in King's Landing. Nice.
I am doing the Iron Throne.
Let's see who that is. My laptop just restarted to install some stupid update for something I don't even use. But, good thing, because I stopped acting like a boomer with the... No offense to the boomers out there, because I know I got that generation, a few of them that I love that as subscribers. But, I'm bad with technology. You guys know this, man. I'm a factory rat. What dragon do we think this is? Could it be the Red Queen? We got some pinkiness going on, but I do think because it's not Syraxes. I like that tail design. Very cool. I need to stop pointing with my hands. Look at this really super cool tail design. I like that. But we got this pink in here, which could be the Red Queen. And it's not Syraxes because it doesn't have the cool devilly horns, which I really thought were really cool. But you got to look at who's talking to. Like I said, there's lots of ways to figure things out. And I guess we could look up the dragons. Oh, because I had to slow it down. But I don't want to do that to you guys. It sounds god-awful. But I got it. So, which dragon do you think that is?
Inherit the Iron Throne.
That's a crappy crown. Oh! Aemond. Or is it Aemond that... No, he fights Daemon in a tournament, right? Tell me, let me know. Is it Aemond or Daemon? I'm a terrible YouTuber. Why do I do this? But, because I have fun. And I want you guys to be involved too. But Aemond One Eye... Now, I brought this up about aging people up and this and that. And I think I'm going to do a separate video. But anyway... back when he was a kid, him, and I know it gets confusing because it would be technically his nephew, but they were around the same age. Lucerys, Rhaenyra's son, were being cousins, playing around, and then all insulting, well, but not really, he's kind of telling the truth. Aemond One Eye becomes Aemond One Eye and gets his eye taken out during a fight with him because he's told, I think that's when he says, your mom, or your dad ain't your dad. Your mom's banging somebody else, like, essentially, and that would be treason. And, wait. One of them does. Sorry, I'm getting all geeked up and excited, but that's essentially what happens. They get into a fight, he loses an eye, but they're like kids when that happens. They're like children, but then he becomes Aemond One Eye. Now, Aemond One Eye, he rides Vhagar, he's quick to fight, he's ready to go. He's a badass, too. He's another super badass Targaryen. I like Aemond, but, yeah, I talked about that in my reaction, but, yeah, him and Lucerys get into a fight. He loses an eye, and for the rest of his life, he's called Aemond One Eye, which, I mean, that's a pretty cool nickname.
Rhaenys what?
I like that they're making them close. Corliss!
You never imagined yourself on the Iron Throne.
Okay, here's where I'm like, you're still my favesies, Rhaenys. I don't care. I stan Rhaenys. She's my favesies. The queen who never was. You have to remember that this situation going down, she could have done the very same thing. So she's kind of got a really close tie to this. You know what I mean? It probably hits really close to home for her. But this seems very Littlefingery to me. But then again, she might be like, no, I'm fucking pissed. Now, there are tons of reasons, and we can talk more about them if you guys want to. Let me know down in the comments as to why the Velaryons kind of get shafted by the Targaryens. And they would have a reason to be pissed at them. So her causing some shit is pretty plausible. It makes a lot of sense, kind of. But to me, this comes off very very Littlefingery to me. Or it could just be, I'm talking shit to you. I don't know. We don't know yet, because she's looking pretty, she looks upset or shook. One of them. So imagine that. I'd be scared shitless. Now that is that to Dorne? That's so cool. That's at Dragonstone, where that dragon's going above. You can tell because of the windy walkways. Is that a Baratheon sigil? But that's the wrong colors. No, it's a seahorse, right? That's Corlys Velaryon, right? I did the slowing down thing that I didn't want you guys to have to deal with. That's Daemon, right? You can't really tell. And you know they're sneaky with trailers now. They change colors, they take people out, they put people in. You never know. But I'm assuming that's Daemon on Syraxes, because it's got the red on the ends of the wings. And a little bit of red back here. Look at that. I'm really liking the design of Syraxes so far. He's kind of my favesies. Now, I don't know what's taking place here exactly. And like I said, we have the flashback things to factor in. But I'm feeling like this is towards the end of the season. Or it's just them having issues during the war and, you know, but it's war. And I'm sorry that I'm so bad at this, you guys. I'm trying to get better with technology, I promise. I love that shot of him and her when she's young. Right here. Oh, look, we got that one, guys. I'm digging the Ned Stark. And did anybody else ever notice that? Side note, my ex brought this up. Two things my ex said, and he's not super obsessed, but I mean, he read them at least. But he's not like me, is what I'm saying. But one thing that he noticed off rip was that by the end of season 8, Jon and Arya and Sansa were all doing the Ned, so like that similar hairstyle, just like him. And I was like, oh my god. Also, I didn't know that people didn't. I didn't know it was like a revelation to find out that Varys was trying to poison Daenerys, or like that could be a thing, because he said that the night we were watching it. He just goes, he's trying to poison her, and I was like, oh, you got it. And then I saw an article pop up the other day that was like, oh, was Varys trying to poison her? And then all these people were making videos about it, and I was like, if I would have known that, I would have talked about it. Into this. You see that word sacrifice? Because that's kind of, a lot of that happens. And not to the right people. That dragon, though. I think somebody just fell down. That is such a sick dragon. And oh, it is Syraxes. It's got the horns going on. But look at his black armor, dude. Look at this ballin' outrageous dragon. He's ballin' outrageous out here. Look at Syraxes ballin' outrageous, dude. I love it. It's so cool. Oh god, they're like, she's straight trying to stab her in front of everybody? Oh, how sneaky is that shit? Now, this dragon is kind of scary, but I guess they're supposed to be. Now, I have an argument here. I know everybody was yelling. I can't tell you guys. I appreciate it, but I cannot tell you guys how much. Do you want to know what irritates me on YouTube just in general? When somebody's reacting to something, that is, I actually, the truth is, I know a lot of people that, like, reshoot their reactions on lots of different things over and over and over again. And I'm like, what? People do that? And then I guess I was like, I guess I should have known that, because a lot of the internet is fake. But that's part of the reason I started this channel. I was like, we all like stuff, we can all talk about it, and I'm sick of seeing all these, like, pristine. Nobody wants to hear that shit. We want to go, hey, I like this character because they're a badass, and I need no other reason. You know what I mean? But I appreciated that. I appreciated everybody going, no, it's Syrax at the end, and it's Syraxes here. I really appreciate that. I don't mind it. But I'm just, in my heart, I'm just like, oh, I want to see this thing. So I wanted it to be there. But it's okay. But yeah, no, just in general, not with my video, I really appreciated everybody telling me. But the reason I was saying that this might be Vhagar, and now that I'm looking at it, I guess it does have the yellow, but Vhagar's bronze with bright green eyes. And and then it has like bluish green to it. Vhagar's we don't know a lot about the appearance of Vhagar, and it's huge. The reason I was thinking Vhagar here was because of the eye color, and because its color does look ambiguous. It doesn't look straight up yellow like Syrax is described to be, but not just that. Rhaenyra is trying to do this impossible thing that has never been done before. Who else did that? Aegon the Conqueror. Okay, well, who else was pretty salty when their kids started getting put ahead of it and this and that? Visenya. I love George R. R. Martin. I know I joke over here and I joke and I kid, but he pisses me off. He does piss me off. But everything repeats. So, metaphorically, I was like, oh, that's going to be Vhagar because of this. Not because of anything else, but I am pretty sure it is Syrax. I'm pretty sure you guys had it right on the money in that it is Syrax, but, I'm just saying that's why not only in my heart do I'm like, I want to see Vhagar, but that's why I also thought maybe that, and look at that green eye, man! It's the greenest eye I ever saw. Man, dragons are adorable. Except that one was very intimidating. God, I can't wait, you guys. I'm so pumped. Now let's talk about stuff. Let's talk about stuff. And I wanted to get these out for you guys. Because people kept acting like I never, and I know I don't need to prove shit. I don't need to prove shit to the internet. But these are my color-coded books with every connection that but the funniest part is like, where's the key for it is the funniest part. It might be in one of the other ones. But yeah, it's pretty hilarious. But yeah, no, these are my color-coded connections in A Song of Ice and Fire. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry that I'm so janky at the screen recording crap. I'm really bad at it. I'm a factory rat. I worked in a factory for 10 years. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing with technology. I'm literally learning with you guys, so I'm sorry for that. But let's talk about dragons. Who's your favorite dragon? Vhagar. Duh. Okay. But there's just a few things that I want to talk about that I kept yelling about in the reaction, and you guys really were getting my genuine first reaction. Every time House of the Dragons dropped stuff, the first time it was, and I really need this. If you've been on the channel or know me personally, you know everything's been really, really hard lately. So it's just like, wow, I cannot wait to escape back to Westeros because things have been just rough lately, and I can't wait to recap it, and I can't wait to talk about theories, and I can't wait to post more of my theory videos. But there were certain things I was yelling about. The cousin fighting, the eyeball poking out, if they're going to age up the characters. I jokingly say, well, not really. I do. I think the Hightowers are sneak rats. But I'm not, Rhaenyra isn't my favorite Targaryen of all time. I think she's definitely a sneak rat too, for sure. Rhaenyra is, I think that her cause is more worthy. So Rhaenyra isn't my favorite Targaryen, but she gets hit with all this, oh, my half-brother is taking the throne over me? And I always, this is the smartest part, and I keep saying this, and I don't want to harp on it, but that George R. R. Martin has these books wrote through another character's point of view. So it's like, is it all really true? We don't know. People could be depicted a certain kind of way, but I always took it as not only was she raised to rule, but her and her dad were tight. So then it's like, oh, now I'm being replaced. Now you have new kids. Now he's gone, so you lost your dad who you were tight with. And then, while you are having a stillbirth, which is one of the hardest things anybody can go through, you get hit with, he took the throne. I'd be pissed too. Rhaenyra also blames her half-brother and Alicent Hightower for her kid passing away. She says the stress from everything going on is what made her go into early labor and lose her baby girl. And so then she blames her child's death on Alicent Hightower and Aegon II and is like, let's go. You took my throne, you took my kid, my dad's gone, I'm ready to throw down. I don't think Rhaenyra is that great, like, morally wise, is what I'm saying, and she's not one of my favorite Targaryens of all time, but she's very important, and I don't hate her or anything. I don't hate Alicent Hightower. She's a good character. I just don't like sneaky, dirty rats, so I don't really like all these characters. But I can say I think Rhaenyra's cause I support more, so that's why I'm like, no, I'm cheering for you. That's fine. It is what it is. We can all cheer for who we want over here. We all like to have a good time, and we all love going to Westeros. You know what I mean? Rhaenyra don't have, like, all the support as, Alicent Hightower and them. They have more support from the country, but Rhaenyra's got some heavy hitters on her team, is essentially the big issue here. So that's what makes her a threat. But, yeah, no, she's kind of the underdog. I think Rhaenyra is the underdog, and it's like, I'd be pissed off, too. Let's take the throne part out of it and be like, I lost my dad, I lost my kid, you're being a sneak rat behind my back. The job that I was supposed to have, I got passed over for, that I was being groomed and trained to do my entire life, all because what? I'm a lady? Okay. Honestly, I have a whole theory. I think that if they would have allowed women to take over, they wouldn't have fallen. I mean, there wouldn't have been the Dance of Dragons, but more than that, I really don't think they would have fallen. And it's like, maybe listen to ladies. The Martells, unbowed, unbent, unbroken. They never knelt to the Targaryens. Guess what? They're the only ones who let women inherit. Rhaenyra does have way more dragons, though. That's the thing. She's got like 11 or 12, where her half-brothers got 4 or 5, something along those lines. I think these dragons look amazing, though. I'm glad that they took the time, because they look great. The one character that I wish they would show more of is Helaena. Because Helaena is honestly one of the, I would say, and I've said this since the very beginning on my channel when I talked about this, I think it'll be very interesting to see what they show. We don't get to really see the Starks be sneaky and slimy to each other. We think of them as very respectful and stoic and this and that. So it's like, okay, when you show them, maybe we'll get to see different. We're in the North, but I'm just using that as an example. But we get to see these ones act very differently. Now, we never got to see the Targaryen family interact. So how many of them are just sneaks out for power, and how many of them are just like, I love you, and I'm loyal to you, and you're my family, or I just, whatever, like normal day-to-day, like slice of life stuff in the Red Keep. I can't wait to see those little parts of it. I really can't. But Helaena, to me, was always like the only real victim here. That I don't want to give too much away, but she loses a kid in a very gruesome way, and because Rhaenyra is like, do it. And it's, well, she doesn't say do it, but her side is like, yeah, we're going to do this. And it's messed up. And I always felt, and Helaena Targaryen marries her brother, Aegon II. So she's the queen married to the king when all this is going down. Now, Aegon II isn't even that good of a king. He's like a lazy bum. So that's even worse. And this is why I think Alicent Hightower is a sneaky rat. Not only did your son not even care or want it, and you pushed him, and then he was like, okay, fine, but naming your son Aegon? That's a huge deal in the Targaryen family. That's going, think of Aegon the Conqueror. Not only that, he looks just like his dad, and that's a big thing in Westeros, being a man and looking like somebody else important gets you places, because he didn't even want to be king. And it's, and his mom pushed him, but then it's like, okay, well, who's pushing her? And I totally get that. I get that. I'm just, like I said, personally not a fan of sneaky, dirty rats, and I think that maybe you should make choices for yourself, but there's a whole bunch of factors that go into that. I'm fully aware. I'm just saying, I hate the internet, and when people get all upset, like, it's like, no, I love them all. I just prefer some over others. But that's why I think she's a dirty rat. Off rip, off jump. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of different angles we could come at that. But yeah, just in naming your son Aegon alone is jacked up. Oh, and him carrying Blackfire, which we're not going to get into all the this and that of Blackfire, but that's a huge deal too. I'm a fan of Dark Sister. Until I started getting back, and now I'm constantly listening or reading Game of Thrones, and I totally forgot like how much people's children die. Like not all like children, but like this character's child goes, so it's rough, but there's a lot of that going on in the Dance of Dragons. There's a lot of, this isn't a happy story. The Dance of Dragons is not a happy story, and that was my concern with HBO starting with it, but it looks fantastic. I'm super pumped for it, and I think that's why, like, I can't get my words out straight, because I'm just, like, I'm so geeked for this. So if I messed anything up, I'm sure everybody will let me know about it. But yeah, tell me what you're most excited about. I want to know which ones are Cyrax and which ones are Sunfire in the far away shots, and I definitely I think that we're going to be able to see their colors a bit more when it is on, because I think that, like I said, they're sneaky with trailers nowadays, and they don't want to, and I get it, and I'm happy about that, where it's like, I don't want to know every little thing from your trailer, and I think this did a really good job. I'm not complaining about this, but does anybody else feel like Daemon is the main guy here? Like, I feel like this is all about him, or am I just really super pumped for him? But Daemon's just the baddest, and I'm really excited about it, but all the coolest shots involve him. Where's Dragon with awesome armor? But I can't believe how well that video did. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Welcome to the Penguin Gang. Normally I'm more eloquent than this. No, I'm not. I lied. But yeah, if you're new here, subscribe, comment, like, dislike. I appreciate it all. I'm Abby with Motor City Nerds. Is there anything I didn't talk about? Let me know. I have a bunch of stuff that I'm still editing. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be going back to Westeros. You guys have no idea. Like, this is the only time when I'm really, like, I'm talking about something. And I think that's why I mix up so many names and stuff, and I normally never do that, and I feel like a jackass.